yeah, maybe that's a good way to kind of segue into just talking about your personal like approach to breaking, because like when I look at just in general people who break, like there's very few people who have a really like kind of unique that's them. Like if you saw this, you know, the typical thing of like if you saw a silhouette
Yes.
of someone dancing, you could identify them
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right
yeah,
away. You had like one
yeah.
of those styles that's really,
Oh, thanks,
it
man.
was really easy to be like, oh, that's Jester. Like for sure, that's him. Like you
So,
just know if you've ever seen him before, like there's no one who kind of dances like that. Yeah.
well, I don't know about now, but
Well,
thanks.
I yeah.
um,
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
you
you know, back in the day, like when I started. So for me, like when I started in Hamilton, I didn't have a lot to model myself after. I modeled myself after what I saw on TV, and a lot of it was like, baggage tricks and like the what was that, the Crush Youth uh, tour or like the shoot. You remember that clip on Much Music when they came down and like there was like it was like Wiggles. I think it was maybe Legs.
maybe
Uh,
that was like a little bit before my time, but
yeah,
I know that there's been some of those, yeah, those kinds of like
yeah.
tours or
So they,
whatever.
they did a tour up here and like they did a little feature on Rap City with them. And
Yeah.
so like for me it was like the times of baggage for being on Much Music on Rap City and that one little segment on Rap City of like the clip of that tour. And those were the only things at the time when I started that like I had to model myself after. So when I went around to Toronto and we'll go to like whatever jam we can find, you know, everyone was like always pretty different. Like I realized I recognized like a pattern of what the Toronto style looked like back in like at the time when I started. And coming back to Hamilton, I was just like I wanted to develop my own style because I felt like I didn't want to look like everyone else in Toronto.
Right.
So I was slowly like getting into my style, trying to find a style. And then I remember one time somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, you break?" I was like, "Yeah." It was probably at like a nightclub or something. And they're like, "Oh, do you have any b-boy moves?" Like I had no idea what the hell he was talking about. Like I can there. Like I don't know like what you mean about b-boy moves. Like I had no idea about like personal like moves and stuff like that. I just
Right.
thought like, oh, everyone just does the same thing, and just whatever. And then further down the road, I was like, oh shit, create your own stuff and whatever. And then I remember it was the summer I think of maybe 2000. I think it was just yeah, it was the summer of 2000. I had moved back to Hamilton for the summer to work. So I moved back and Style Lords in Hamilton had a studio just down the street from my house. So I would work from 2 to 10, and then come home, drop myself off, grab my boombox, and then walk over to the studio. And then from like 11 to like 2 or 3 in the morning, almost every day of the summer, I was just dancing on my own pretty much because sellers by the time I got there, they had already like done a whole day of like, teaching, training, whatever they were doing. So the most of the time I was like dancing on my own. And I remember just like telling myself I kept falling for like moves I was trying, and I was like, fuck this shit. Like, I was like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just gonna do whatever I want to do. I'm gonna practice falling, and I practiced falling for like the whole summer. So that was like my mind trip for the summer. I was like, just fall and like keep going, and like make sure that like you never, anytime you fall, no one's ever gonna know that you're falling.
Mm.
So I'm practicing. I get a call from my crew at the time, which was intricate. Um, they're like, no, we haven't seen you all summer. You got to come down. We have a show. We have a gig. And we want to see you. We want to hang out. Like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I'll drive down and we'll do the show. So they're in Scarborough. I'm in Hamilton. I drive down to Scarborough, and we do the show. And they were like, yo, what's happening to you, man? We haven't seen you in 2 months. You look so different. I was like, I don't know. It was like whatever. I was like, I don't know. I've just been dancing. They're like, dude,
Yeah.
you look so different now. I was like, cool. And then we did the performance. And then I remember a girl coming up to me, and she's like, like, I really like what you're doing. Like that smiling thing that you're doing, she's like, keep that. I'm like, yes, yes. When a girl tells you something that she likes, you keep doing that thing that she likes. So